Hello, welcome back to another episode of Dad's Let's Cook Something. I'm Brendan, welcome back. If you've seen the last two videos of the two recipes that I did, thank you so much. Appreciate your support. Today we're going to do some shrimp tacos. My wife and I were in the process of introducing some high allergy foods to our daughter, and we haven't done shellfish yet. So a few days ago, I went to go purchase some frozen shrimp from the grocery store that I'll just dethaw really quickly because they won't take very long. I'm going to throw them on the pan and I'm going to make some tacos out of it. But of course, because it's me, I'm going to try to spice it up a little bit so they're not so boring. So I'm going to kind of give a quick rundown of what kind of shrimp tacos I'm going to make. It's starting to thaw out a little bit. It doesn't look as pretty as what it normally does, like in a bowl, but this is a chimchurri. Chimichurri is an Argentina-based marinade. You can use it as a dip. You can marinate meats with it. You can just top off your food with it. It goes great on steak. It goes great on like very light seafood, like shrimp. I would consider a pretty light and not as dense fish. It's very lip puckering. It's vinegary. It's garlicky. It can be a little spicy. So I'll post the recipe below, but it's a very simple recipe. It's just a few herbs. There's cilantro, parsley. Some people will do red chili flakes. I did red chili flakes and Fresno peppers. I had a Fresno pepper left over from the Asian beef recipe from the very first episode we recorded. Salt. It's very, very simple. So it's just a little bit of chopping of herbs. You put it together with everything else. You pour in your oil and your red wine vinegar, mix it up, and if you let it sit for a day, it's a delicious sauce. You see it a lot on steak, but I'm going to do it on shrimp today. So once the shrimp is thawed, I'm going to saute it on the pan a little bit, and before it gets to the point where it's cooked, I'm going to coat it with this nice sauce, brown it off a little bit, and they'll be done. Very simple. I made this in probably not even 10 minutes a few days ago, so it's had some time to kind of develop flavor. So that's one thing I'm going to add. Pickled onions. We made pickled onions a few days ago for the lamb burger. So this is going to add some more acidity to the taco, and it's just an opportunity to use these. Pickled onions go well on a lot of different things. And then I'm going to top it off with this bad boy here. So this is a chile de árbol salsa, and there's also pasilla peppers in here. The lamb burger, I use those same peppers, minus the chipotle peppers. But I've had this salsa for a couple weeks now. There's a lot of garlic in here, so it shouldn't really die. Well, it will eventually, but it's been holding up very well, and it's been developing flavors pretty good. There's a good amount of heat to this, so I think it'll add to the tacos a little bit, and it'll just give it some different dimensions of flavor and color. I also got some avocados. And the last thing that we're going to add also from the last video is this garlic aioli garlic aioli that I'm going to add to a slaw. So I just purchased some prepackaged slaw from the grocery store. It comes with a dressing. I don't remember what dressing it is, but I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use the rest of this because since there's eggs in here, and because it's the mixture, this will only last in your fridge for maybe about a week or so from just the research that I've done. It's still within a few days, so it's still good. But I'm going to use it up on this slaw. So it'll add some creaminess to the taco. It'll just add some more garlicky, herby kind of flavors to it, and it'll just be a good way to kind of coat the slaw so it's not just a naked cabbage that's on a taco. And so I figured this would be a good way to utilize previous ingredients. So we're gonna cook these up really quick. This won't take very long at all, and this will be a very nice lunch on a nice sunny day out here in Texas. So something light, something easy, and something that can be prepared in not a lot of time. So hope you guys enjoy the footage, and then once we're done, we'll give it a taste. I will tease you all again with my initial thoughts on the taco, and we'll just debrief after. Lightly seasoned with salt and pepper. And then I'm going to coat this in the chimchurri. There's plenty of oil in here, so you don't necessarily have to coat the pan. And then we're just going to give this a good mix. And then once it's all mixed, we'll add it to the pan that's heating up. So this is the leftover aoili. This will coat the slaw. I'm just going to use up what I have. And then we're going to give that a good mix. And then to your liking with lime, we can add it to the slaw. So these won't take, these won't take very long. We're gonna pretend like that didn't happen. These will only take a few minutes, and with the leftover chimichurri that I have, once it kind of gets some color, when the shrimp's gonna be done, so it won't be translucent anymore, I'll just finish it off with the rest of the chimichurri that I have left over. So while all this is cooking, you can get your tortillas of choice. Just gonna go with flour. And a good sign of a flour tortilla is when it starts to kind of bubble up and rise. That's always a good sign. It really depends on how well the tortilla is made. These are just from a local grocery store out here. But you can also do corn if you want. So what I would do, this is a mid-cook correction. The shrimp itself, I did season with salt and pepper, but rather than throwing the sauce in right away, I would do the shrimp first and get it charred a little bit, because too much liquid's going to get it to boil. That way the shrimp can have a nice charred taste to it. This will come out fine, but that's just a home chef error. Alright, we're going to assemble. We'll start off with the slaw. Before you serve it, just taste it, and if you need to season it further, go ahead and do so. I just added a little bit more salt, just for my taste. Alright, we're going to add our shrimp. Just a couple little pieces on each one. And then I've added some avocado. And we'll add some pickled onions. I won't go too crazy, just a couple of strands here. Oh, you're on? Oh. And this is optional. I forgot that I had a whole bag, but if you want to add some queso fresco to it, you can. You don't have to though, there's plenty of flavor on this. And then just to finish it off, we're gonna add some of my previously made chile de árbol and pasilla pepper salsa. I'll make a video one day about how to make salsa, just because I want to spend more time on that, but if you like some heat, definitely top it off. Finished product, let's give it a shot. I'm trying to teach my wife the catchphrase. How can that be bad? Shout out to her for helping me film. That's why this video is much faster. But chimichurri and shrimp is a good combination for sure. The one thing I didn't have in this chimichurri, I think I rattled off the ingredient earlier, but I had ran out of cilantro. And the cilantro that I had went bad, that's why I didn't use it. But if you have cilantro and parsley, that makes a really, really good chimichurri for sure. There's different ways to make it. Some people only do parsley. I think parsley and cilantro go really well together. Helps kind of mesh with the vinegar and the oil really well. Don't go too heavy on the red wine vinegar unless you like it. But if you have a good ratio of each oil or oil to the vinegar, it'll be more balanced. The salsa actually goes pretty well with this. I didn't think it was gonna be that great. I thought it was just going to be okay, but it tastes pretty good. If you like green salsa, if you have a Pico de Gallo, you can use that too. Avocado is always nice. Like I said before, if you want to use corn tortilla, you can, but these flour tortillas from H-E-B, which is our grocery store, are awesome tortillas. And it pairs really well. The aoili went really well with the slaw. I just had to season it up a little bit. And if you want to add more lime to your liking, you can do so. But all in all, my wife's standing right here. We weren't filming very long. This was a very, very easy protein to cook. It takes a few minutes. Just if you want more of a charred taste to it, season up the shrimp first, char it in a pan. If you got a cast iron, if you got a stainless steel, that would work really well versus a regular nonstick. And then once you kind of get some color on the shrimp, throw your sauce in there, then finish it off. Because otherwise it'll just boil. I had to crank up the heat a little bit so the shrimp wouldn't just be boiled shrimp. So there's a little bit of texture on here, but that was just a technical error on my end. But otherwise, it's a good taco. I'm not a big shrimp guy, but every now and then shrimp's pretty good. So as always, like, subscribe, follow DadLife4106 on Instagram, podcast, Dad, Let's Talk About It. And thank you for tuning in. Cheers.